Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician, and this is Holomancer.
Today we have prepared a list of the most important legendary cards that we will lose in April. The regular yearly rotation of sets will occur for the fourth time, but this time the rotation will be the most dramatic in the entire history of the game.
We are going to lose a record number of popular and powerful cards. Almost half of all cards will disappear from our decks.
Overall, we are losing 414 cards. 405 of them are from sets from the Year of the Mammoth, 3 cards from the Classic set will go to the Hall of Fame, and 6 cards from the Witchwood will be deported ahead of schedule from Standard Play.
To better understand the significance of this rotation, we suggest you compare the results of our research to last year's results.
As you know, every week we collect statistics on the popularity of cards in the metagame. In total, we have accumulated a huge amount of data, so we have decided to determine the average rate of popularity for all legendary cards that are moving into the wild format.
After this, we added information on current popularity for wild and standard.
Why do we need so many indicators?
According to our poll results, about half of all players will definitely be disenchanting cards. Therefore, we hope that these indicators will help you to independently determine the fate of some cards in your collection.
If you want to see a big guide about cards that deserve to be disenchanted, click the like button under this video.
So gentlemen, let's get started.
Starting off our list is Thrall, Deathseer. The average popularity of this card is 2.5%. The peak popularity of this card came at the time of its release. At that time, all players experimented with evolution, and this card was auto-included in all Shaman's decks. But gradually, with each passing month, it lost popularity. After the release of the Witchwood, it disappeared completely. Only after the release of Boomsday did it see gameplay again.
Now this card is only used in Token Shaman, and it has 0.3% popularity. Today, only 7% of Shaman decks contain this card. In Wild mode, this card has 0.6% popularity.
In spot 19 is Prince Tal'Daram. Players underestimated the power of this card. 4 months after its release, it hadn't seen the game at all.
The peak popularity of this card came after the release of Kobolds in December 2017, with the emergence of the Cube Warlock archetype.
In 18th place is Valeera the Hollow. This hero card has been used consistently, although it is only moderately popular.
Today this card is more popular in Wild mode, where it has more than 5% popularity. In Standard, it is included in Quest and Malagas rogue decks, and has 3% popularity. Every third rogue deck contains it.
The 17th place is held by Spirit Singer Umbra. This card found its place in the meta with the emergence of Cube Warlock, much like Prince Tal'Daram.
Only 2% of all meta decks include Umbra right now. You can find this card in Cube Warlock and Death Rattle Rogue.
In 16th place is Katharina Winterwisp. Players did not immediately recognize the potential of this card. Attempts to use this card began only a month after the Kobolds release.
Only in the summer of 2018 did this card take a worthy place in the meta game in Death Rattle Hunter.
15th place is held by Rokelok. This legendary weapon made the emergence of Spell Hunter possible. This card had a stable level of popularity throughout the Year of the Raven, with about 2% popularity, but that all changed after the release of Rastakhan's Rumble. Spell Hunter blew up the metagame. The peak popularity of this card was ended after the recent nerf.
Now this card only has 1.5% popularity, and only 7% of all hunters use it. In the Wild format, this card is used even less.
In spot 14 is Frost Lich Jaina.
Hello.
This card has had a stable level of popularity since it was released. But after Rastakhan's Rumble released, Frost Lich Jaina became used much more often.
Now this card is at the peak of its popularity, and is used in 50% of all mage decks. It is used in Odd Mage, Big Spell Mage and Elemental Mage.
In spot 13 is Zola the Gorgon. The very useful effect of this card has become an important component for some combo decks, such as Shudderwock Shaman and Quest Rogue.
Today this card has 6% popularity in Standard mode and 9% in Wild mode.
In 12th place is Lyra the Sunshard. The peak popularity of this card was in the Year of the Mammoth. This card is now included in Clone Priest and Combo Priest, and 19% of all Priest decks use this card.
This is my favorite card, that we'll lose in April. It has a very strong and fun ability. Which cards will you miss the most? Write hashtag and the name of the legendary card in the comments. Together let's define the favorite cards of our community.
In 11th place is Skull of the Manary. This card is widely used in Cube Warlock and Control Warlock decks. Despite today's low popularity, it is used in 27% of all Warlock decks.
Before we continue, let us recall some cards that do not fall into our list due to unstable popularity. For example, these 5 cards could take a place in the R list if we were creating a list of popular cards for the current moment.
These cards were popular in the past, but it was not enough to get onto our list.
And these rogue cards can be considered injured by nerfs.
Well, let's get back to our list. Starting off the top 10 cards is Alaneth. According to the total results, this is the best legendary weapon. This card gained its popularity immediately after the release, and for a long time showed good results.
But now this card can be considered like an outsider of the game. Only 4% of mages use Alaneth.
9th place is held by Sunkeeper Tarim. This card was widely popular in aggressive Paladins decks. The advent of Call to Arms created a new synergy, and also significantly increased the influence on the metagame. But then, at the end of May, Call to Arms was balanced by the developers, and Tarim lost his former strength.
Now this card is gradually increasing its influence, but within reasonable limits.
In spot 8 is Genn Greymane.
This curse has become our greatest strength.
Since its release, Genn has found its place in the metagame, although he has almost always been less popular than Baku.
Now this card is more popular in wild mode than in standard, but we have several strong even archetypes among rogues, paladins, warlocks and shamans.
The 7th place is occupied by Malfurion the Pestilent. This is a universal card that has found its place in many druid decks.
5 of the 8 druid archetypes use this card.
In 6th place is another hero card. Shadow Reaper Anduin had crazy popularity until a nerf in February, when Raza the Chained was changed. After that, Shadow Reaper Anduin lost its former popularity.
Now this card has 6% popularity, and has been gradually increasing its impact in the metagame.
In 5th place is the Hunter's Hero card. Deathstalker Rexxar always had a high level of player interest, but in the last half of the year he has become too popular.
Today, all the Hunter's archetypes use this card except Odd Hunter.
The 4th position is held by Bloodreaver Gul'dan. This is without exaggeration not only the best hero card, but also the best class legendary. Thanks to the strength of this card, the Warlock managed to become the most popular class for the Mammoth and Raven years. Today, Bloodreaver Gul'dan has slightly lost some ground due to the player's interest in Zoo Warlock.
Now this card has 7% popularity in the standard mode and 12% in the wild format.
And now for a card that made a huge impact on the meta game throughout its time available. This is Baku the Mooneater.
Do not be surprised that Baku is not in the first place, based on recent trends. It could have been at the top of the list, but it did not have enough time. This week this card has 22% popularity.
In 2nd place is the Lich King. It's the main component of control decks. This is the only legendary card that is used by absolutely all classes.
The developers really managed to make this card great, but at the same time balanced. Today, 16 archetypes use it.
1st place is occupied by Prince Keleseth. Streamers and the community made a fatal mistake by underestimating the ability of this card.
You can remember their reaction, as I created a special video about this. The link is in the description.
A month after its release, every 5th deck included this card. Beyond that, Keleseth dominated the metagame until the release of the Kobolds.
This card managed to set an absolute record in December 2017. During this period, Keleseth's popularity reached 29%.
As you can see, Garrosh is the only one who could not boast strong cards. Warrior is an outsider based on the results of the entire period of the Mammoths and Ravens. The only card that was visible was the legendary quest Fire Plume's Heart. On average for all this time, it has only 1% popularity.
and so we lose a huge number of important and very strong cards.
In this video, we talked only about the legendary ones, but there are a large number of common, rare and epic cards that had even more influence on the game. Let's remember together the top 20 most popular ones.
This is a little sad. After all, many of these cards are associated with our gaming experiences, impressions, and fun. But we are waiting for something new, and we hope for great future in Hearthstone. Hopefully the developers succeed in making the game balanced and enjoyable.
Finally, we want to ask our traditional question. Did you manage to collect all these legendary cards?
As for me, I have 19 out of 20. I only do not have Prince Taldarum. And what about you?
We created a YouTube poll. Find the button on the screen, and please vote. Also share your opinion in the comments.
Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for being with us.
And special thanks to Chris for text editing.
We will meet in new videos.
Good luck.